Buongiorno, mon ami. Hey, this is perfect setting for this shirt. Oh my gosh. I feel like a dark knight. Hello, 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 and welcome to another One Lion of Code. I am One Lion. I am also falling behind. Because 20 seconds ago, I just got off a call with my PM and a team member because we were discussing an implementation approach, which was fun. I like talking code. Stream announcements. I go, copy. One day this, the Discord bot will be fixed. Broken Sword touched it again recently and started it again. I don't know. Anyway, hi Mojo. You were first if you didn't know. Good everything, good people. Actually, Dukasov was, wait, I don't know. You were first. Anyway, Dukasov came next and he says hello back. Actually, he says, back to you. The music is massaging my brain through my AirPods, man. I do love this playlist. Gotta say. Gotta say. All right. So Mojo said, I've been overthinking how to create a shared API service and then use it to implement a post request to an external API. My senior dev wants me to make it usable for future uses outside of this one particular feature, and I just haven't been able to abstract the logic correctly. Well, definitely feel free to share your journey with us. If there aren't details that you can talk about, then just tell us just how you're feeling about it. I feel confident. I feel like it's gonna fail. Even though it's not gonna fail, you're gonna be amazing at it. But yeah, just let us know. If you want, of course. We're here to listen. I'm here to help. Okay. Where am I at? What do we got going on? We have this amazing view out of this window in what looks like a European country. Specifically, Windows swap. Zurich, Switzerland. Wow. Second time we're in, wait, no, first time we were in Sweden. Looks really nice out there. I feel feelings about it. I know how you feel. Okay, here is hopefully the right desktop screen. Hello. We have been working on doing some UI UX redesign for the stream application lately. I ended up going dark mode in FigJam because there is no such thing as dark mode. There's only this bright background that you can't change. So we looked it up on the interwebs and someone gave the suggestion of putting a big rectangle, coloring it dark and locking it in place. And then I had to go through and change all of the fonts to invert the colors. And anyway, that's where we're at. So yeah, dark mode. Today is all about the dark mode and the dark night and the darkness. There was this really, really cool thing that I recently saw. I don't remember. Oh, yes, I do. I was watching back some of the .NET Conf videos, and the e-commerce app or eShop or whatever they called their demo app. The splash screen, the hero section of the splash screen was fantastic. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's pretty much a full page picture that has a filter on top, like a gradient filter essentially, where on top it's a white gradient to transparent, and then transparent or at least a little washed out in the middle, and then maybe some transparent to white again at the bottom. Of course, we're going to use dark mode colors for that. Yeah, Tukasoft agrees. It looks awesome. So I really like that design. We'll probably use elements from it. We'll actually be able to see how they implemented it because their demo app is open source. And my water is too far away. Come here, please. And there I go again. Like, I don't know what it is, but doing the intro or just standing and talking in front of you guys makes my head itch a lot. Maybe it's my version of being nervous. Like, typically I don't feel the nervousness. I do feel anxiety and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. And thank you, Tukasoft. We will definitely store this one so that we can see it. This is the thing that I was talking about here. So it works perfectly for theirs because they have this kind of skiing snow thing, so it looks kind of like snowdrift up here. But I thought it was really, really, really well designed and executed. So this nice little gradient thing across the top. It's like, man, that looks clean. That looks nice. So, as opposed to the typical approach, which is top bar that is completely opaque, hero section, and then all of the information sections like we have here. So that's going to be fun to do. The most recent thing that we did as far as our redesign for the application, by the way, if you don't know what the project is, Proyecto, bless you. It is on my GitHub, open source, and you're free to pick through it. There are a couple of issues that I left open for anyone to take a look at, to handle, play around with. We have one that someone else said, can I work on this? And I was like, yeah, sure. Please feel free. So they might be working on it. They might not. They might not have had time to, but they at least had the intention to. So we got a couple things that I want to do myself, like creating more unit tests and implementing identity. Well, implementing identity, I've got my own issues, thank you. All right, Dick is soft. I won't bog you down with mine. What is that? That looks tasty. What is Simple Game Dev looking at? Oh my gosh. That looks tasty. Anyway, not distracted. He's not showing food on his stream. Food doesn't distract me. I'm focused on code and programming and software. Okay. So any of these that say help wanted, you are welcome to pick up. There is no expectation for any of you to touch or anything like that, but definitely welcome to look at. So yeah, we got those. But that project was the one that we worked on stream for quite a while, and we got most, if not all, of the core functionality done. So now that it's all put together, since I only did a crude design session when we were first setting up the project to get a good feel, or to get a feel for how to lay stuff out, I started getting sad at what it actually looks like, and I want to make it look better. Wonder if there's something easy for me. Let's take a look. Yeah, again, there's absolutely no requirement to do anything with it, but if it sounds fun or challenging in a way that is rewarding, or whatever you get out of it, feel free. I think I have a little bit of information of how to loan the repo and do work on it. So I think you would fork it and then do work in your own branch and then do a PR. But as far as getting started, clone it to your machine, set the FigJam database migrations as startup project, do update database. Oh, set your connection strings, do update database. Choose the application type that you want to run. Why isn't this on new lines? Anyway, if you want to do the Blazor Wasm app, then you set the FigJam.server project as your startup. If you want to do Blazor server, set the server only project as your startup. All of the other platforms, use Maui, choose the correct target to run. Windows specifically, use the WPF. The extra configuration that the Maui app might need is, for example, if you're using Android, you might need a, what are they called? A proxy in order to do the API requests. Just duca all the variables. Yeah, if it's gonna cause you discomfort, pain, frustration, anger, then maybe you want to do it anyway. No, that's not what I meant to say. Not everyone gets off on frustration. Point is, it's there. It's there. What are we doing? We are looking through all of the stuff that we've done so far. So we're redesigning the app, making it look better. We started off with coming into FigJam and using its generator to generate these idea boards essentially. And so we're following all of the lanes. And we went through this one. I filled it in with help from you guys. Went through this one, modified it a little bit. Went through this one, filled in the notepads, created some new sticky notes. Then did the second one, then did the third one. And so now we are farmers here. Who buzzed at me? Who wants my attention? Nobody, that's who. Oh. Yeah, the other thing that I did was I tried going from Windows Mail to Outlook again, and I think it worked a little bit better. There were some things that caused me to revert back to Windows Mail, but I'm gonna keep it this time and see how it does. Seems to be okay so far. Anyway, so Mojo says, side note, I used Uizard to prompt an AI to generate a UI, and it wasn't bad. You know, we can try that. I'm not averse to it. Probably want to set up an account on this screen though. But yeah, we're going to finish filling out the FigJam stuff first, and then we will do some actual screen stuff. Yeah, I think it's free too. I saw Solo Solipsist use it, and it looked really good. We're going to use Betacootie Coding. And delete this. Going to go down here. Oh yeah, I have an idea for what I hope will be a fun redeem. I was actually able to envision how it works, so maybe we'll get to that. Speaking of redeem, my bot looked like it was working and I didn't have to re-log into it. That's nice. Except that Firefox opened and then closed and then opened. Okay. I really would like to know if someone can please redeem a sound alert. If we actually see. Yeah, here it is. Channel points redeemed on my channel. Thank you so much. So I'm definitely getting channel point redemptions. I don't know. Wait. Okay, so the bits. Thank you, Dukasoft. The bit redemption is different than the sound alert redemption, or just any kind of point redemption. And that's because the thing that this thing picked up was Sound Alert's chat message. Okay, interesting. Speaking of, we got a free dad joke from Dukabot. The farmer had 297 cows. When he rounded them up, he found he had 300. Nice play on words. I think I get it. Time flies like an arrow. Fruit flies like banana. True. Oh, man. Phantasmal. Oh my gosh. Don't ask me questions. Just work. My role is the individual contributor. As an individual contributor and agency consulting, what are you planning on using Uizard for? Personal. What brings you to Uizard? I'm looking for a design tool. It's even more magical and collaborating with others. Skip for now. This is a really... I just want to get to the flippin' app. You guys make the barrier to entry not fun. How did you hear about us? Other. I don't care. Oh my gosh, they require a response. Guys, do you want people to use your app or not? What brings you to Uizard? Fireworks, Gandalf. Oh gosh. Mocha says, speaking of account creation processes, GitHub has the best one I've seen. I haven't created a GitHub account in a really, really long time. All right. Do I have a confirm your email? Yeah, I don't even need to confirm my email. Ooh, this is crazy. So this is the new Outlook, and I think they may have forgotten something. So this is a popped out message. Oh, did you see that? These were missing until I moused over them. Guys, you failed. You failed. Send it back. Scrap the project. Start over. Typical Microsoft. I'll let you have that one, Mojo. Oh, man. Okay. So here we are in our new lane. Here we are. Humble abode of the purple deposit. Brainstorm new transaction features. Think about new features that could enhance the transaction management functionality of the financial management tracker. Write down your ideas on stickies and share them with your team. So this is auto-populated again by the generator, which is the whole thing that started this conversation about using Uizard, which we will again. I'll have the tab up here as our next thing to go to once we're done with all of this. And thank you so much for the follow and for the fail sound. Little did you know, that's one of my favorite sound alerts. I love it. But thank you so much for the follow. I hope you enjoy your time here. We are a welcoming, pretty laid back community. This is our project if you didn't see it earlier, our stream project. I used to work for a company where I could stream my work all day long, and moved on from that company to a consulting company. And so I couldn't stream my work. So I decided I still want to stream Blazor. I still want to stream something that looks like it would be a work product. So let's create our own project and treat it as if it is a work product. So we're doing all the things. We're using source control. We're doing design work. We did the implementation in a way that hopefully uses a lot of best practices. So that's where we're at. So right now we're doing redesign work because the application itself is for the most part done. We do have some extras that we want to add into it, some things that I completely forgot were in the plan anyway. Also displaying things like currencies and being able to choose what locale you're in. Any thoughts on how you want the auth part to work? Yes, I want it to work like .NET 8 auth. The way that we get .NET 8 auth for free. Actually, what would be good is having a combination of figuring out, because like I've never used it before, many of you have, Azure B2C, but I also want to be more agnostic. I don't know. But yeah, point is, we're gonna have to come up with an authentication method that works on all platforms. Because like you saw, we have Blazor server only, Blazor WebAssembly, which we're going to add the Blazor web app template where we can mix and match server and WASM. So I'm hoping that that authentication mechanism will be the one that we can just go with. Yeah, and I've never used Keycloak before, so that's an option. I've never used Azure MSAL anyway, so that'd be one for me to learn. Keycloak would be one for me to learn. The only thing that I've ever done with authentication is have my own user store in a SQL database using Twin Day Identity Server, formerly Identity Server 4 and 5, I think. Anyway, welcome Thorof. How are you doing? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm just standing here with my arms crossed, formerly free. I mean, it's freemium now, but yeah, same death. Okay, so anyway, point is, we use this thingy to generate some boards for us to fill in. We're on the second board of the second set, and we're going to figure out what this thing is here at the end. But it filled in all of this information for us here, so I'm just reviewing it to see if these make sense. So having split transactions, that's an interesting thought. What would that actually mean? I've never done split transactions myself, but I can imagine what the concept means. Something to do with paying from multiple accounts for the same thing. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds terrible. I'm doing good, trying to get some coding in while being confused by threading. So, you know, the usual. Well, definitely feel free to ask any questions you want. We do have a Discord server. If you're already a part of too many Discord servers and just can't handle another one, no worries. You don't have to join ours. It's fairly quiet, it's laid back. We have a lot of really cool people that are willing to answer even newbie questions, because I love newbie questions. I love making sure that people feel like they're allowed to ask questions instead of making them feel like if you ask a question, you're a bad developer. Figure it out yourself. I really can't stand that. What? There's an email that just floated to the top of my Outlook that is my registration key for Visual Studio Express 2012 for web. Discord server overflow has already happened. What's one more? Well, you are definitely welcome. There are no expectations on the amount of participation you have. I try to discourage the use of @everyone and @here. Instead, just ask your question. And since there isn't a whole bunch of traffic on there, your question will get seen. Cool. All right. So anyway, split transactions. It sounds like it would be cool. It sounds like it might be a little bit more thought than I've given doing the transaction entry. I guess I can tell you about the application here shortly. So give me a sec to read through these. Recurring transactions, I definitely want, and transaction categories. Yes, absolutely want that too. So we started a categories table, but I never made a way to associate categories with payees with establishments that money would be going to, which also means that a transaction item itself could be put in its own category. So a payee might have multiple categories, and then a transaction might have an overall category. Like, these are my recurring bills, these are my subscriptions, these are my something that accounting people would know what to label them as. Unfortunately, my struggles is in performance, but I appreciate the option to ask questions. Absolutely. What language are you using for that, by the way? Chart of accounts is a report type. C++. Yeah. So I don't know that many of us would be able to help you optimize that anyway, even if you did ask your question, since we're mostly .NET developers, but we love software development. I did C++ a million billion years ago. I'm still familiar with the syntax, but I have not been keeping up with it. The of accounts is the category, of course. Or are you saying it's the Mojo file out of accounts? Transaction attachments. True. So being able to store maybe a receipt. Once again, I'm not planning on doing anything like image processing or computer vision, where you can scan a receipt and then have that be put in there. And I'll tell you why once I start describing the app. But it would be cool if you could still upload your transaction, your receipt, or whatever other transaction thing you want related to it. Transaction search. We kind of have a filter, but it's not great, where you can see by account. And then we didn't actually implement the filters in the columns yet. But sort works. Look at it go. Sort works. Amazing. Yeah, so transaction search and transaction filters. The filters are definitely going to be this style, where it is within the table, the transaction history table. You can filter that way, and then the search will be you start typing into a search bar something like, I don't know, my favorite food grocer called English Store. No, my local grocer. Grocer. And then it shows you all of the transactions that are for that or match in some way. So yeah, I like these ideas. Transaction tags. We have transaction notes. Do we have transaction notes for everything? Got memo, yes. So we have transaction notes for everything. Don't need to worry about that. Transaction reminders. Again, this would be when we implement recurring transactions. I don't know why these are on different cards though. They're kind of, they don't really need to be. Like, I understand if these were going to be like grouped together. I guess they kind of are grouped together. I don't know. But to me, this goes with recurring transactions. Anyway, point is, it did the work for us. We reviewed it. I'm okay with them. With that, let me talk through the application really fast. So the Financial Management Tracker is an application intended for the user to enter in their own transactions. So by transaction, I mean a payment, deposit, or transfer, where a payment is you moving money from one of your tracked accounts to an external target. That's what I'll say. External source. So moving money out of an account to something that you aren't tracking. Deposits are moving money from something that you aren't tracking into one of your tracked accounts. And then a transfer is moving money between two of your tracked accounts. I wanted this to be a manual input method, so you only are able to get transactions into this application by entering the details yourself, selecting the account that you're paying from or paying to or transferring money from and to, and the amounts and the dates and all of that stuff. And the point is to be able to, or not to be able to, but to force me specifically to pay attention to what I'm spending on and how often. Because that's something that I have benefited from. I used to be really bad with not realizing when I'm overdrafting. So ever since doing this, I've just been able to handle managing my money better and making better choices, mostly because I am seeing the impact of my spending habits. And also because I stopped drinking, which was a big money sink. But anyway, different story. So anyway, you have all that, and yeah, there isn't much to the application other than you pick the transaction type, fill in the details, choose the account. If there's a posted date, then you put the posted date. If there is no posted date, then it counts as pending until you update the posted date. And then you get to see your summary, and then you get to filter all of your transactions by a specific account by simply clicking on that account in the summary field. Yeah. And if you want an account yourself, we can start tracking an account for you. And actually, you know, that would still be kind of fun. Maybe I can incorporate a way to have you open an account by putting a what's the word I'm looking for? A command. And then my bot will listen for that command, and then you'll open a new account. Each user can only have a maximum of 2 accounts, I guess. I don't know. And then they'll show up here, and then you'll be able to earn interest and pay for things using, I don't know. That sounds tedious, but fun. Besides, I have something else that's more fun, or that I hope will be more fun. I can tell you one of them because it's a more fleshed out thought, which is we talked about having a drop kind of game. So like, dang it, I had Instafluff's drop game in my head, the name of it. Yeah, one of those. But anyway, you all know Instafluff, and you know his him and the people that he worked on it with. You know their drop game. You know Irish John's drop game, where it's a ship that falls from the sky, randomly turns on its jets, flips while it's falling, land on an anvil. I don't know if it's supposed to be an anvil, but it looks like an anvil. So for us, because I love archery, yeah, that's an awesome one. Oh, first, what we talked about is, and you know what? I can draw this. I could draw this. You scooch closer to one. Here. Okay. We're up here somewhere. Okay, so let's say that you started the drop game for yourself. Then what might show up? This is the no, that's, I need the mouse on this screen. Okay. I need a different color because we're now in dark mode. This is the screen, this is the stream, and for the drop game, when you initiate the drop, it'll have like a diving board or something, a little person, and a little pool that will show up a random distance away from the diving board. This was my initial thought. Okay. And then what you would do is you would pick a angle and amplitude, power, in other words velocity is what you would pick, and then they would jump and try to make it into the pool. And you get points for if you landed in the pool, not in the pool. Looks a little bit low on the stream. Just a little bit. Maybe if I looked up, I would have seen that. So that was one thought. And I was like, okay, so let's say we do that. What happens if you jump and land there? Do we just like, do we do gratuitous graphicness, which I'm not a fan of? Do we just have you land with your impressive powers and just like shrug? So I didn't want to have to think of that, because yeah, I don't like hurting people at all, ever. You know what? I'm just going to delete this. So here was my next thought. Let's go up here. Oops. Dang it. There. All right, screen. Dang. Screen. There we go. Okay, so instead, because I'm a bigger fan of archery, and below the stream we have all of this extra space. So I have the now playing stuff, I have the picture of me, I have chat here, and then the main window is here, or actually here. We got all of this space. So what I was thinking is when you redeem it, you spawn somewhere down here, and then a target spawns a random distance away from you, and the power plus trajectory will be you shooting an arrow at the target and try to hit the target. Because what happens when an arrow misses the target, it either sticks in the ground if you miss that far, or flies way over, and maybe it'll hit me, which would suck. Maybe I'll have you facing the other way so you don't hit me. But yeah, that just sounds like fun. It sounds like more fun and less gratuitous. So those are my thoughts on our version of the drop game. And not only that, and what if multiple people do it at the same time? So the target will be in the same place, but I'm thinking maybe the player will spawn in different distances. This is not a battle royale. However, the other thing that made me think of, I did this in the shower this morning. The other thing that made me think of was what if, and this is a big what if we had a way for people to challenge each other, kind of like a duel. And so what would happen is, here's a wall, and then here's person 1 that's facing this way with the target here. Here's person 2 facing this way, the target here. Same distance apart, target and everything. And then on the wall, there's actually, the other thing that I was thinking of was having a flag up here to maybe introduce wind. And so the wind would be mirrored on both sides. So you kind of have to take into account wind as well. So how hard is the wind blowing? And then you choose your trajectory and amplitude. And then you both fire your arrow, and whoever gets closest to the target in 3. So 3 arrows, 3 shots per person. And then an overall score. So yeah, those are my thoughts. And then from that, I was like, so archery is cool and all. I love archery, but it's not really specific to our channel. So I came up with something else that I think is also going to be fun. So I do want to do both of those. The single person, you do a redeem, you shoot your arrow, try to hit the target. And then the dual shoot your arrow thing. And I'm dreaming big, by the way, because I really want to do some more creative type work because I love creative work. For example, let's say that the trajectory that you chose is going to make it so that your arrow will hit the bullseye. And of course, that would be pre-computed because I would know what the trajectory and amplitude where it's going to land before you even fire the arrow. So I'll simulate that first, determine that. If it's going to hit the bullseye, then have some big, like, like they do in the animes where there's like this, and then here's you with your arrow, and then it does the whole, and then you kind of fall away, the arrow goes, and then it hits the target right in the middle. Anyway, it'd just be cool. And again, I want to do this all with Blazor. I really, really, really do. And I think I can. I have some ideas on how I can do that. Yeah, exactly. It'd be so good. So I'm going to be working on that on my own time while I try to figure out what approach to take. And I need something that works for stream, though, where you control the actions that happen using chat. Because the thing that I'm still looking for, and I thought BitGamey was starting to get into it, and I saw someone else that has something that's like it, is something that overlays onto the stream that is specific to your screen, where you can control your character. So like right now, the way that Irish John does that is he uses Itch, where there is this web client where you log into Itch and play Interactive Battle Royale, which is a separate screen, separate website. And then he just has the game itself. He has an observer watching the game, and that gets projected onto his stream. And I think that's an amazing approach. But if you are on the stream, then having a way for you to, like this game specifically, having a way for you to use your mouse on the screen, since it doesn't need to be real time, you click drag, and then the character's trajectory, kind of like Angry Birds, kind of click drag. The trajectory and velocity. I keep saying velocity, but velocity is trajectory and magnitude. Magnitude is the other word I was looking for. So you click drag, and then you get the... It can't be a really big arch, because that would be too easy. It would have to be some other way where it starts going the direction you think it's going to go. And that's why I was like, introduce wind, because that might make the arrow fly less far or further than you expect. So you have to account for that. So there's some skill involved. So anyway, you do that on the actual screen, and then it translates to what everyone sees happen once you release it, and it commits that kind of thing. So we'll try it out. We'll see where we get. We'll start off with just using chat, where you give it an angle and magnitude. And we'll go from there. I think it'll be fun. If I can figure it out and it looks like it's something that might be entertaining to do on stream, like I'll run through a couple of test runs to see if I can even do something like that in Blazor. I'm sure I can. Yeah. So the reason that I'm doing that is because one of the things that I'm doing for the Automated Realms site is using Blazor to do animations. and not like, you know, using Blazor and then something like Three.js or A-Frame or a framework that already is meant for animations other than CSS, HTML, C# code. And I really, really, really need a technique for cleaning up the SVG. Yeah. Because right now there's so much anti-aliasing issues with it, even though I've turned on global smoothing or whatever it's called. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get animations to work cleanly, easily, without taking up too much memory for my company's website. Anti-alias. I like that show. Okay, where are we? So this is only supposed to take 10 minutes. Discuss and rate the importance of the new transaction features brainstormed in the previous activity. Use the alignment scale to indicate your level of agreement. Like, are we supposed to... Do we... How do I... No, you stay. You stay over here somewhere. What I was trying to do is duplicate this widget for this one. I'm guessing it's a widget. Okay, with that. All right, cool. They get their own. Ooh, you can even click like way down here. I'm off the spectrum. Okay, recurring transactions. That's pretty high on my list. And then transaction categories, pretty high on my list too. Yeah, it didn't give us all of them, so I'm gonna move it down. What were the other ones? Transaction attachments, searches, filters, tags, reminders. Okay, allow users to add attachments to transactions. Enable users to filter a list, a transactions grid that is already displayed. Allow, or yeah, whatever. Sometimes it uses allow, sometimes it uses enable. That's fine. But anyway, allow users to search for transactions matching a search term. And then we'll have to define what search term means. Are we using some kind of indexing service for our database data? Are we coming up with our own search language? What is a search really just a filter? So distinguishing the difference between a filter and a search. That's not search, that says reminders. So we need reminders and tags. What's the difference between tags and categories? I think we'll still put both, and then we'll just vote on them independently. And of course, if any of you do have a differing opinion for the rating that I'm giving them, I haven't done these yet. Let me just unmark them so I don't forget. If any of you do have a differing opinion on what is important, what isn't important for our redesign for the app, please feel free to let me know and I will adjust accordingly. No. Lock. Lock. You. Control Shift L. That requires 2 hands. I guess I can do it with 1 hand. Just move your hand over to the other side of the keyboard. All right, so now I can drag with confidence. Except that the content inside gets locked too. No, we missed. I always miss. Okay, we only need 2 of these. Transaction tags and transaction reminders. Okay, so allow users to add tags to transactions and enable users to set reminders for recurring 1 hour in recurring, 2 hours, 2 hours. Upcoming scheduled transactions. Because it's not just payments. Payments is a specific type of transaction. Okay, so here we are. Transaction attachments, to be able to add attachments to transactions. I mean, this is intended for you to use on a personal basis. It's not really a distributed, widely used application. If you want something like that, maybe you should try the existing applications out there. This is, again, you clone this project, you set up your own local database, and I'm doing authentication and authorization so that we can figure out how .NET 8 does it, but you don't necessarily need that. This is more like a standalone application that you have on your own computer. But we are going to get auth figured out. Anyway, so that said, your attachments, if you have receipts and stuff, you probably have your own electronic filing system because none of you keep paper, right? Nobody keeps paper. If you do, then you're, no, I'm kidding. I am not going to judge you for that. Or am I? Anyway. Yeah. Let me see if I can find this one. What's paper? Gosh, I love this one. I need to timestamp directly to the one that I want. Not that one. Love this. Oh man. Oh wow, I found it so easily last time. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can show this because the whole promos a mess. maybe. Okay, this is as much as you're gonna get, and it's gonna be a very short clip. I can't even put the clip on the screen because of the product placement. And there's a commercial. Sign me in to YouTube using... I just need to extract the video and extract the clip. No, I don't know what my password is. Forget about it. Forget about it. Try one more time. Okay, here we go. Ready?
We don't need to print the internet.
I love that. Anyway, I'm gonna extract that clip. Hello, Chris. I have seen you around in many places. Thank you for coming in and saying lurk-ish, kind of just passing by, hanging out, using Irish John emoji. Hope you're doing great today. I was trying to do something clever and I failed at it. It took too much work, way too much effort just to get that half a second clip. But I'm gonna use it as a sound alert. It's gonna be great. Okay, what are we doing? We are rating these. So adding attachments was where I was stuck at. I don't really care about that as much, being able to upload receipts and stuff. I have my own filing system for uploading receipts, and it's done my way. Was that our chat? Did you intend to put that in our chat? Because I have no idea what it's in reference to, because I'm flustered now. I'm not keeping track of context anymore. It has failed me. It has failed me. Okay. Transaction filters. Yes. Very important. We already have all of the mechanisms in place all of the UI in place to do it. We just need to actually implement it. Oh, to my failed sound alert. It's sound alert. Transaction search. Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool if. Yes, failures are all steps towards giving up. Success. Towards success. Yes. Yes. The failure sound means that I've tried. Tags. So what is the difference, would you think, if there is one, between a transaction category and a transaction tag? So tags to me are like indicators of, I don't know. Is there really a difference between a tag and a category? Oh, you know who would know? I don't like putting this on screen, but I'm going to. You know who would know? ChatGPT. Oh. If you couldn't tell, my other monitor is a Ferrari that I keep in the garage. Is a 4K UHD monitor. So things that look like they're gonna fit on this screen are actually not gonna fit on this screen. Anyway, we're gonna ask ChatGPT. Tag, hear it. Is there a difference between a tag and a category? And it's gonna be snarky. Oh, absolutely. The difference between tags and categories is like the difference between spices and ingredients in a recipe, I mean. Categories are your big, broad, this is the voice that I imagine it saying it in, big, broad ingredients. They set the main theme or the overall structure of your content. Think of them like chicken in your chicken curry. They're the primary classification method, giving a rough idea of what content is about. Tags, on the other hand, are like the spices you sprinkle on top. They add a little extra flavor and detail. Your tags can be a category, but categories aren't tags. I don't know about that still. Like, chicken is an ingredient in my chicken curry, but it's also the main category of the chicken curry dish. So I kind of think maybe the opposite. Yeah. So like tags are spicy, creamy, gluten-free. Squares or rectangle? Rectangles aren't squares. Truth. Or aren't always squares. So all squares are rectangles. Not all rectangles are squares. They're secondary and can be used to associate various categories and topics, enhancing the discoverability and organization of your content. So would it make sense then to make one category for your financial transaction entry? And again, if you look at a financial transaction entry in the scope of this application, that looks like, let's do this one. So paying from my credit card, my credit charge, to my local grocer, the category would be groceries. The tags could be items contained in that shopping session. So it could be produce, it could be utensils, cutlery. So things to specific, or things to narrow down to give more flavor to what a shopping session was about. I guess I could see that. I'm going to write that as an example. Form. Beans, woods, veggies, chickens, fishes, red beets. Yes, exactly. That kind of thing. That categories are overarching classifiers, I think is what it said, of a transaction, and tags are more descriptive. I don't know, context, content. For example, category, groceries, tags. And then I'll use yours, Chris. Specific detail, I like that. It's like I'm thinking of the way that you might add tags to a book. Like, what is the content inside of that book? Versus the overall category, and in books, that's most likely genre. So what's the genre of the book versus what are some content features? Like if you say it's a mystery novel, then what is the setting? So this could be a period piece, which is a tag. Or I guess period piece is still more of a genre. This could be more like, is it fiction? Oh my gosh, I cannot come up with concrete examples. I'm just gonna put what you put, Chris, because I'll do poultry, or I guess proteins, because lazy. And I liked cutlery, so that's in there. Anyway, so yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, and in that case, I mean, does it really make sense? Because when we enter, for example, a payment, we have these line item types. You could be as granular as you want with your line item types. You just add them here. And it's like, do you want your line item types to go as far down as product? So like maybe you have a line item type called product. No, and it failed. That wasn't supposed to fail, but it did add. And then here you would put something like eggs. 268.21 monetary units. I can apply tags very easily to my genre of novels I read about. Yeah, and I probably could too. It's just that when I'm trying to come up with an example off the top of my head, it doesn't work out very well. Like I started with mystery novel, and then I'm like, tags would be violence and murder and suspense. No, suspense is also a genre. And anyway, the pressure of TBP, the big project. Anyway, point is, if you wanted to get that granular of saying you're buying produce, you're buying cutlery, you're buying kitchen products, whatever, you could just have a line item type that allows you to put the actual product itself in your details. But I don't know. It might make sense. I'm going to put it at take it or leave it. Take it more than leave it, I guess. And then transaction reminders. If we are going to implement recurring transactions, or, oh, that also means scheduled transactions as well. So I'm going to take this one, put it here. Yeah, so if we're going to implement these, a scheduled transaction. So I guess scheduled transaction is a recurring transaction, or I should say it this way, a recurring transaction is really just a scheduled transaction with a recurrence property. So I would rename recurring transaction the scheduled transaction, and then I'm going to change the importance of this to not important, because it's going to get taken care of with scheduled transaction. So that said, if we are going to do scheduled transactions, which can be a scheduled one-time transaction, scheduled recurring transaction with a limit and a recurrence schedule, I'm going to call it all scheduled transaction. Then this is going to be important as well. I have trouble putting it in high importance, but I really do mean high importance. I just struggle to do that. So anyway, there you go. And now we're going to discuss the implementation of transaction filters in the financial management tracker. So I take it the next thing that we are supposed to do with this is take all of our high important ones and then discuss each of them individually. I mean, we kind of did that as we went through this exercise. So we may come back to that, but right now we know what elements and stuff we want to implement. That said, maybe we should update our issues to include those things. Yeah, so that's what this is going to translate to, is adding some issues for implementations, for things to implement. For example, implement filters. Prioritizing databases, which is to everyone else databases, but I like to say data. Okay, it's just how I say data. Can be a headache, I would imagine. What do you mean by that, actually? I don't think I understand. Is the intention of this instructional, educational, or reporting? Again, I'm not exactly sure what context you're talking about. Like, are you talking about the whole stream in general or this project? So the project itself is what we are doing on the stream. Oh, and thank you. Sorry, Thorolf. Thank you so much for hanging out for as long as you did. Ciao. You're probably already gone by now, but thank you for being here for as long as you were. Appreciate it. And then I also got a follow that I did not ignore. And it was Thorolf. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, so this project, quick whirlwind backstory of it was I used to work at a job where I could stream my entire day job. So I streamed about 6.5 hours a day. And I did Blazor development, worked on 7-ish projects at the same time, modernizing them, taking them from Java to .NET Framework, from .NET Framework to .NET Core. And then while I was in .NET Core, while I was doing that transition, Blazor came out. So I'm like, Blazor is the perfect project type to use for these projects. So I'm going to move them all to Blazor. So then we did that. And then I left that job after mostly finishing all of the projects and conversions and stuff. And I went to work for a software consulting firm called Sagetti. And now that I've mentioned them, all the views and opinions I express on this channel are my own. They may not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Sagetti. But anyway, so I went to started working for Sagetti. This is my Sagetti laptop, which is why I'm pointing over there for Sagetti. And so now I'm working for a consulting firm that has assigned me to a project team for one of their clients, and I can't discuss the client work, that product, nothing like that. So I was like, I still want to stream. I still want to connect with other developers, talk with them about things that I'm interested in, more specifically Blazor and .NET. Don't forget that debugging equals billable hours. Heck yeah. Yeah. NADs. You mean NDAs? But yeah, close enough. Love it. So I was like, I still want to stream Blazor content. So let's come up with a stream content and, or a stream project and do it. as if we were making a for real project or product. And so the financial management tracker was the whole intention behind it is for us to come up with a interesting enough Blazor project that we could implement in a way as if I was going to do this for a client. And so you can see our discussion points. You can see the history of it on the YouTubes. I've posted all of the videos for the stream on here. You can go all the way back to the beginning. All the way. It's in a playlist, so you don't have to worry about trying to find it in this list. Back when I used to use my face as part of the thumbnail, instead of being all lazy and just using the same thumbnail and updating the day number on it. So this would be the first video of what we're currently working on. Some of these videos are purely just me talking with chat. Some of these videos are me doing something else entirely that isn't the project. But I still put them all under this project. So that's why we have 201 days of it. Today being the 201st day. But hi, Tyndall. Tyndall is here. Thank you for doing the shout out for Tyndall. I mean, did you do the shout out for Tyndall? I assume you did the shout out for Tyndall. But yeah, Tyndall is another .NET developer who does modernization type efforts, going from the earlier versions of .NET to newer versions of .NET and doing really cool stuff. Check out his stream as well if you're interested in this type of content. So anyway, Chris was asking because they love brainstorming. And so, yeah, I'm trying to do this in a way that is industry standard. And it's like, if I was working on a team, then we would probably go through some kind of brainstorming exercise.
All right,
like,
everyone, it's 5 minutes since I started and it's time to get this show on the road. I was wondering a little bit about what I was going to do today. I had a couple of different options. I'm currently off stream writing.
Why does this keep happening to mine? Why does this keep happening? I don't get it. Now that I've been completely, I have no idea what I'm doing. Nice face though. I forgot. I was just saying something about Chris's comment regarding loving brainstorming. Oh, I wanted to do this in a way as if we were just making a product. Oh, because the app is now done, we're now shifting to what it would be like if you inherited a code base that is already out there and working, and you were intended to improve that code base, improve the UI design. So we're doing it all. I really wanted to start from the get-go doing design, but it took me a long time to even come up with this. So I'm like, you know what? This is good enough. Let's get rolling. I want to write code. I got impatient. I did what you're not supposed to do as a not supposed to. I did something that I would prefer not to do, which is skip steps in order to get to the part that I really enjoy. Because I wouldn't do that for a company that I was working for. If I was getting paid to make this, I would take the time to do this the right way with whatever time constraints I'm being given. So the thing that happened with my previous job was, here's a whole bunch of apps that need to get converted from Java to .NET in 1 year. And there used to be a team of 4 developers working on this that quoted it's going to be about 4 years to do. And I was like, I could try it. So I really ended up just straight porting the UI, any HTML, CSS, JavaScript stuff that I could rip from the original application, pulled it over into an MVC.NET Framework 4.7.2 application, and then made controller actions that match their Java code behind stuff. And yeah, did it all within a year. It was crazy, but it was fun. And I did have a junior developer working with me. Oh, not just that. Yeah. The rest of the team that was originally working on the app, they were gone by the time I got hired. The last person that was in the team quit. He was the lead. He quit like the week that I was going to show up. So I never met him. Didn't have any of them that I could reference. All I had was the code base, and that was it. In Java, of course, with minimal documentation. And so I had to reverse engineer a lot of stuff. I had to figure out just what needed to be done. And I did it. And then I was able to improve on it because we got that 1 year push through it, get it done. Then I was able to play around and be like, here's this new technology called Blazor. And started playing with Blazor, loved Blazor, turned everything into Blazor. Here's an example of one of the apps. So remember, this was Java, HTML, CSS, JavaScript previously, and now it's Blazor. Sure, why not? Save. So it's got this interactive map, it's got charts, this nice little accordion thingy that I made myself, connected controls across multiple accordion items. If you have a site selected, it would show you the diagram of the cross diagram of that well, sampling plan information, well system maintenance information, blah, 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 and yeah, just everything, you know, all the things. It was a lot of fun. Yes, I still have access, and there's a reason that I still have access, hypothetically at least. But yeah. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, Mojo says, let me be your junior. You're more than welcome to. We did recently lose someone from our team, but that position did get filled by someone for my Sagetti work, that is. As far as that other place, I don't know if I can add a junior for that. Okay, moving on. Moving forward. So anyway, Chris loves brainstorming. So we're still stuck on that step anyway. Ooh, I missed. Oh, it's locked. Unlock. I missed changing the color here. Oops. Okay, collaborate on maintaining list of values. Ooh, list of values. No, we're good. We actually don't need this one. So says I. So Chris, who loves what's the word I'm looking for? Who loves brainstorming? Is there anything else that you can think of that we can do within FigJam in order to improve our UI, UX, and possibly the application itself? I showed you the quick whirlwind tour of what the application is. You manually enter transactions of these types, and they update this grid down here. They update your account summary. They update the individual transaction lists. Why am I always an hour late to your streams? I don't know. Because you show up an hour after my stream starts. Is that a good reason? A little too easy. A little too easy. Dad joke. Where do astronauts hang out after work? I mean, where does astronauts hang out after work? At the space bar. Thank you for that one, Dukasoft. Jet lag. Jet lag. Okay. Yeah. So if there are no other recommendations for what else to brainstorm, I would like to actually try doing some redesign. So the whole point is to make this UI look professional, look like an actual application. Do I have the capability of keeping track of deletions and changes, date, person, etc.? So not person. Again, we don't have identity hooked up yet. The transactions themselves, I think we set up where you can soft delete transactions, and if you keep them deleted for a certain amount of time, they get purged from the database. So you can undo that. Therefore, you know, we do have a deleted date, I think. Let's take a look. Database. So accounts, I definitely know we have a soft delete and you can't permanently delete. Whoa. Oh, it's probably because it's in lookup item base. Okay, so lookup item base, you get a deleted column for free and then a last updated. So if that's not really deleted date, is it? Like last updated is the last time one of these properties changes, regardless of which property it is, including the deleted flag. But in any case, the only time that a permanent delete can happen to a lookup item is if that lookup item is not referenced anywhere else. Otherwise, it does a soft delete, because we would have to figure out what to do with the record itself. So for example, let's say we did a deletion of the payee Vindies, which is a lookup item, right? Payees are manageable here. Okay, so let's say we deleted Vindies. We don't want to do a full delete because I still have transactions where Vindies is my payee. And if I were to do a full delete, then I would delete this record as well. Whereas my credit card was charged that amount from a payee named Vindies, I guess what I could do is have a payee named deleted or something, and then put a memo in that in all transactions that are associated with that. But that doesn't make sense to me. So instead, a soft delete just says keep it in the database, but don't show it in the list of available payees anymore. Why is it still showing? Probably because it didn't save. It did save. Yeah, kind of like an archive. Unless that was the answer to Matt's question. I'll read your question in a second. So anyway, that just shows soft delete. And then if you try to add them again, how do I have it written? Apostrophe S. Then it just reactivates them. It removes the deleted flag if they already existed. Otherwise, it creates a new payee. So glad to see that that works, but it didn't actually filter out where not deleted from my list of payees. So I need to update that for all of my lookup items. That said, does that fully answer the question of are we keeping track of? So kinda yes, but not really to the degree that you're saying. So I'll read your thought after I read Matt's question. Am I meant to have a lot of jQuery in my view files in my MVC app? Most likely. It's a screen with a lot of different functionality, and I have a lot of API calls in my jQuery, but I feel like I'm doing something wrong because my jQuery script is getting long. So I have API calls in my controller and calling them in my jQuery, probably using Ajax or fetch or something. But I have like 5 or something. So is that the best practice, or am I doing it all wrong? Definitely take a look at your implementations. Like, are you repeating your calls to your API? Are you repeating code that is calling your API? Or do you have one place that says, for this controller endpoint or type of stuff, use this JavaScript method, and that JavaScript method will do the API call and return the JSON or the object itself that gets returned, if there is one. But when it comes to MVC, since it's all server rendered, then you typically are going to use JavaScript, and in this case you're using jQuery to do your get me data without needing to reload this page. Okay. I'm waiting, and then I'm answering. So the short answer is not a terrible thing to have jQuery. It's just check your code to make sure you aren't doing the same thing in multiple places. If you are, find a way to combine them into one method. Maybe it is a per controller thing. Maybe it's a per returned object type thing. Who knows? But yeah. I just don't think that it's a bad thing. The amount of jQuery code that you have doesn't necessarily indicate that it is written poorly or done incorrectly. Yeah, all the API calls are for different stuff like delete or add or edit, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would be able to, if you thought hard enough, be able to abstract or combine your API calls into one jQuery or JavaScript method with specific parameters that you pass in. But the main takeaway is to not abstract it so much that it's hard to maintain. Yeah, so like the abstraction that I would think of is, let's say this is how we handle all adds to the API. So this is how we do all of our post requests. And so you get one method that says .post, and it takes in exactly the URL being the endpoint, the API endpoint. We know that it's going to be a post in this case for ads, and then the object that you're going to send to that API endpoint. And then that could return any number of objects. But if you're using TypeScript, like a good person, then you probably want to be more specific as far as these are the arguments that this specific ad will take, an object of this type for the post. And then it will return an object of this type. So you could go as far as abstracting all the way down to, here is my do controller method function that takes in the endpoint, the method type, the content that you might send with the method, which could be null if you're doing a get. If I do well on my ASP.NET placement, I'll need a picture of Jesus and switch the face to yours because you are helping me a lot. You don't have to do that. Not at all. Absolutely not. I enjoy helping where I can, and I'm glad that it is helping. Okay, so then Chris said, the thought came to mind, it would be handy for historical auditing for most individuals, probably not. I'm interested in that though. We can explore that. Pray to one line every night. Definitely don't have to do that because I will not answer your prayers. I wouldn't receive them actually because I'm insensitive to that. Ooh, no, I'm kidding. I don't know. I think it'd be a lot. I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. You there. You get traded out for you. Yeah. And then, by the way, not a coder. So all I see is Essential Arcane Mage Scrolls in Draconic. To all intents and purposes, if it makes sense in you RPG. I love RPGs, but I like the brainstorming process. You're welcome here. Absolutely welcome here. You're bringing up some interesting thoughts and ideas. So from a use case standpoint, from a functionality standpoint, a user might want to audit their own data entering. So if this is going to be a data entry system, which it is, one thing that you usually get with data entry systems are audits, which is how much data have I entered in the past X amount of time? Was it entered correctly? Is it accurate? Is it correct? I already said that. What have I deleted? When? Kind of thing. So it's something that we should add in order to improve this application. Like functionality wise, that's cool. But I think for what we're trying to brainstorm here, it's more UI UX. A merch idea. A rubber duck with my face on it. I don't know that I want my face running around places. I'm okay with my words running around places, like things that I say often that are unique to me and our stream. But I'm not good at paying attention to that to know what even. What even? It's making my ear itch. Why is that making my ear itch? How much of it gets used too? So yeah, I mean, that would be great. I think that would be a discussion for another. Can we add boards or something? No, we can add new FigJam files. Maybe we can start a new dark mode FigJam. How big is text currently? Excuse me? What just happened? Hello? All right. How big is text? Okay, good. So I think this should be big enough for our dark mode. We want our text to be contrasted. Back. All right, so this is going to be functionality improvements. Yeah, which is kind of mean of me, isn't it? Because we have those things that I didn't implement that are not specifically UI related. So they do kind of belong on this board instead. Audit. Auditing. Oh, right. You have a sticky. I don't know how to make a sticky note. Doesn't matter. Oh, maybe that worked. No, it didn't. It did. Okay, so to us, auditing means can I and I align you top left. How do I do vertical alignment? How to vertical align? How do we'll figure it out later. Auditing, tracking, deleted items. Oh, what else did you say? How much of it gets used? So when you say how much of it gets used, how much of what gets used? Free flow verbalization is good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just tell me what it is. The info. Like, well, so thinking of that, does that really make sense for this scenario? All right, Mojo, enjoy your work stuff. Where this application really is, you enter a bunch of transactions and they live in your history. And that's it. The only thing you are currently caring about is what is my current balance? Am I getting close? And maybe what is my trend compared to over time? Ooh, the one lion smiles on a rubber duck. A rubber lion. A rubber lion could be merch. My rubber duck is a lion, a purple lion. I think you're onto something, Dugasoft. I've written it down. It now exists in Stream Ideas. So yeah, what does it mean to track how much, how often? How much / often? How much of / often? Something like that, whatever. But yeah, we can come up with more of that, but I'd really like to stick to the UI for now. So I need to move some of these items over to that other FigJam, like the implementation parts. What can we implement? Or what still needs to be implemented, and yeah, features, these features here. So actually, you know what? I really do think that this entire board should go here. Board, lane, whatever. Okay, and then this can go in here. So this is more of a feature. They belong here. The UI stuff is really the main focus right now. How can we reorganize this app to make it look like a professional application? Like it's something that would be developed for a client. Because right now we have a vague idea. It's all right. It's not great. This is what our landing page currently looks like. Could be better. Could be much better. We looked at this thingy, which is the current .NET Conf demo project. And I really just love this no bordered hero section. I love it a lot, actually. The more I look at it, I'm like, this is really slick. And so I'd want to do this in a dark mode kind of way. And so one tool that we had been using so far is Dribble. And I has, yeah, a set of suggestions. Yeah, I love those no hard lines in the visual. Yeah, definitely. And we saw some concepts like this that I kind of liked. We talked about maybe a dashboard-ish kind of view, which is what this little scribbling is here. So if this were a dashboard, then on the left you have the overview of just all of your general stuff, your basic dashboard with overview information and actionable buttons and items to get you to different areas, budgets, trends, and then each of the individual accounts inside of this sidebar. Where are you? Oi. Excuse me, where are you supposed to be? And what's this? What's this? I think maybe this H doesn't belong. I don't know. I don't know where this account is supposed to be. Whatever. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, wait. No, I don't. I don't know where that's supposed to be. It's gone now. Anyway, so yeah, if we did that kind of approach, I'm not the biggest fan of dashboards, but I do know a lot of people really like dashboards. So you can imagine it looking something like this. Can you go back to the other screen, Blaz, where each of these dashboard items is an account, and then each of the accounts has its overview of here's how much money you have in that account. And then you can do stuff like add transaction. Oh, look, I scrolled down so that we could see it easier. So this could be an account card. This could be recent transactions for that account, or this would be all recent transactions across all accounts. And then you could narrow it down into the specific account. But again, making it into a dashboard, probably not my favorite. So the other thing that we were talking about at the top of the stream is potentially using a tool like Uizard to generate some ideas for us. Can I do all? All right, so we're gonna start with mobile because it's better to start with mobile and then move up. Don't know if this is a thing. Can a UI be adjustable enough that the parts most used migrate toward a focus point kind of thing? And you are allowed to fly off on tangents. So this is still, even though I want to treat it like it's a professional development, someone hired us to make this, it's still a stream and we can go off on tangents. It's not a work product that, jeez. Hello, Apocalypse. How are you doing? Hello, Goku Jax. Oh, don't mind me. Just trying to catch my heart before it pops out of my throat. Goodness. Oh. What does that say? Rabbit holes are awesome. I don't think I've seen that one from Belen. Oh gosh. Anyway, mobile version upscale. Oh no, I was trying to respond to your thought. Okay, so yes, tangents are fine. We don't have to be on topic all the time. I do like to get stuff done, of course, but we don't have to. Oh, okay, I'm fine. So, can the UI be adjustable enough that the parts most used migrate toward a focus point? Kind of thing. Okay, so if we were to take this page as an example, the focus point would, in this case, be the center of the screen. If we were taking a more busy application like this design, like this is where having some kind of UX knowledge would come in very helpful, because there's a lot of psychology that goes into user experience. And that's what drives your UI design flow. Like, where would people look? What is the focus point of a financial management tracker application? When you first land on this page, everyone knows hero section is up at the top. Like, typical design approaches are, you have a hero section with here's what my application is, and then some quick summary of it, and then here's what you can do with it. And then when you're using the application, the focus point then moves to what? Like, I have these tabs that are not well designed because you don't know that these are ways for you to change what type of transaction you're entering. In my opinion, of course. I don't know that for sure. I haven't done field testing. Awesome. You're going to be a fantastic idea man for this. And I could use idea mans. I know there are a lot of places that are like, there's people that are like, I just have ideas, I can't implement them, but I kind of like that. So, and that is my angle. My career was in psych, and I tend to be most influenced on how the person reacts to things. Yes. So that kind of thing would be extremely helpful. I'll take your input, your suggestions, your ideas, your random thoughts. Please feel free. So, how to get a migration to a central focal point. So maybe we start off by coming up with a skeleton design. We know elements that I have enjoyed so far. Like this, it's just really good. This one is just really, really good. I really like having this full width image with this kind of top bar that is not really a top bar. It's just a gradient from solid color to completely transparent. So I really, 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 really like that. And then the contrasty, you know that this is how you get to your sign in. You know that this is going to be, well, in their case, this is actually shopping cart. And it's not easy to tell to me that that's what this is. Like, this is your basket. To me, this looks more like a filing cabinet drawer as opposed to a shopping bag. But that's fine. I mean, that's one of the elements that we are going to pay close attention to, is if we use iconography, does it represent the thing that we want it to? Will most people interpret it as, this is where you go to do blah. Also, things will become more confusing to go down my little, oh, this seems like it could be simplified thoughts, more than willing to drop it. Yeah, icons are definitely important. So we're going to have design boards for what icons we're going to use throughout the entire app. I think I have a starting point for those, don't I? Oh, we have 3 of them. So anyway, here they are. A trash can, a check mark, a plus sign. So we're going to build that up. We're going to choose our own iconography, even if that means using ones that someone else made. What are you? Plus. Color schemes, etc., etc. We're going to come up with all of that based off of what we like and what to go with. But first, the thing that I want to figure out the most is what is the layout for our landing page and what is the layout for our main featured content, main application. And not just that, but what does it look like in mobile, small screen, medium screen, large screen? And does that change based on whether you are using the application in its desktop mode? Like it can be a Windows installed application, for example, and it's mobile native using Maui. Tizen, maybe we put this on a Samsung TV. Who knows? And web form. And hello, Xcoding. So we will absolutely be able to take off now that we've made it through all of the bees boards. But once again, we can keep brainstorming. We can keep coming up with ideas. There's always room for that. So if you do come up with something, let me know. We can jot it down. We have a FigJam. I really want to share this with you guys, but I know that I have some people that like to have fun too and enjoy themselves in a way that might be a little, let's just break things because it's fun. But I would love to have some kind of way for you to brainstorm as well with me on stream. But for today, disfortunately, my alarm just went off, letting me know that there are 4 minutes, now 2 minutes left of the stream. Yes, momentary moments of chaos. Absolutely. Where we have many the fun times. Okay. Why, he asked. Okay, but with that, we're going to end the stream for now. We're going to continue. Actually, Friday is going to be Community Day. So in the US, tomorrow's a holiday. I probably won't be lurking on people's streams like I typically normally do. Instead, I will be hanging out as much as I can with my amazing and wonderful wife. So yeah, I won't be around really tomorrow. But I will be lurking in people's stream today. Everyone from, JitterTed to Setolix to C# Fritz. And speaking of C# Fritz, that is who we're going to raid. He was kind enough to raid us before. And actually Monday is when he raided us. And we're just gonna raid him right back. So that's it for today though. We'll be back on Friday for Community Day. We'll have lots of fun. I'll post the VOD for this stream to YouTube no sooner than 24 hours after we end the stream. But if you're interested in seeing it sooner, you can always check it on twitch.tv/11lion, which is pronounced one lion, which is pronounced 11D lion, which is pronounced... Anyway, you get it. So I'm going to get back to work though, and actively lurk on 20 people's stream at the same time. I'll see you around. Feel free to join us again in the future whenever you feel like it. All right, ciao for now. Tschüss. Ciao. Enjoy. Bye. Still waiting. Turning up the music. Turning off the mic.